So we're going to begin today with a prayer from Pastor Beeler. If you can come on in. And so just so you have a flow for the program, we're going to do the prayer, then there's going to be the libation, some song. We're going to keep doing things, and then I'll come back. Because y'all don't need me to introduce everybody. These folks been working with Max forever. Okay, here you go, Pastor.
I just want to introduce myself. I'm Petty, Beeler Petty. Okay, because my husband would have a fit if he didn't hear Petty on there. But shall we pray? O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all of the earth. As we come today to celebrate the life of Dr. Maxine Mimms, may we understand that you knew her before she was born and have shared her with people, places, and events for 96 years, 7 months, and 4 days before allowing her to come rest with you. And most of all, we thank you that we enjoyed some of those years. Dr. Mimms experienced being a daughter, sister, wife, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, counselor, educational trailblazer, leader, friend, and helped others obtain their creative goals. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your great gift of Dr. Maxine Mimms to us and to the world. And we thank you and ask you for continued comfort, blessings, and peace for the family and friends. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen and amen.
Libation. Libation is poured to respect the elders and the ancestors that has left us. Dr. Mimms is one of our recent elder ancestors. And we are all gathered for her, the one and only diva goddess, Dr. Maxine Mimms. We're going to pour in this plant so that in reverence and in reflection, we give reverence to the great ones that came before us. We're going to start with God. We say Ashe. And God made this beautiful world with all the wonderful nature and the animals and the people in the world. And the carbon people was first in the world. We say Ashe. We give reverence to the ancient history of ancient Kemet. We want to recognize and respect all of those beautiful kings and queens that came before us. Imhotep. Queen Azinga. Queen Nefertari. King Tut. Queen Makeda. And we want to continue to recognize as we move into our journey that Dr. Mimms has some beautiful friends that she shared her life with. We're going to call out Dr. Maya Angelou. Odetta. Seriously Tyson. James Baldwin. Dr. Ruth Kelly. And then we go to more modern times and we call out Malcolm X. Martin Luther King. And the fallen ones in the Black Panther Party. Fred Hampton. Bobby Hutton. Huey P. Newton. And some of the young kings and queens that has left us recently. Trayvon Martin. George Floyd. Sandra Bland. And now for your participation, call out the ancestors you want here.
Joshua Richardson. Ashe.
Louder, please. Ashe. 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 Ashe.
Asa heal you.
Ashe. Ashe.
Dr. John Henry Clark.
Ashe. 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 Ashe.
I would like to just say to all of those that are coming today to take us on this journey, and for all of you that are here, I would like to say it's time for you to understand. The program says you're standing on our shoulders. Well, at my age, my shoulders are getting a little sore and a little tired. So I'm going to give you permission to start today, but first I need to pass it on to my brother, Charlie James, and say again, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Doctor. Anyone who accepts a challenge from you is carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. And I appreciate it. I'd like to accept that challenge, but I've got to pass it on to many of you out there. We've got a job on our hand, and we're coming into some of the darkest days of our people. It don't look like it now, but you'll see it real soon. And I am hoping that we stand up and meet the challenge that's in front of us. I've been doing this now for 55 years, and I hope I got another 20, 30 to go. And I'm looking forward. I'm not afraid. I'm looking forward to the future because you are the greatest group of people in America and possibly the entire world. So yes, permission to begin, and we pass on to the next generation of movers and shakers. Thank you.
Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute nor built to suit a fashion model size, but when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. See, I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, and the curl of my lips. See, I am a woman, phenomenally phenomenal woman. I walk into a room just as cool as you'll please, and to a man the fellas stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say it's the fire in my eyes, the flash of my teeth, the swing of my hips, and the joy in my feet. See, I am a woman, phenomenally. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. And when I try and show them, they say they still can't see. It's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the right of my breast, and the grace of my style. See, I am a woman, phenomenal woman. Now you understand just why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to speak real loud. When you see me coming, it ought to make you proud. See, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, and the need for my care. See, I am a woman, phenomenal woman. That's Dr. Maxine.
I know my soul so weary. Trouble come and my heart burdened be. And I am still and right here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face, but you were content to let me shine, 'cause that's your way. You always want to stay behind. I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. Yeah, a beautiful face without a name for too long, a beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know you were our hero? And everything we like to be, yeah. So watch us fly higher than an eagle. You were the wind beneath my wing. Ooh, it might have appeared to go unnoticed. No, no, no. But I keep it all right here in my heart. Yeah, we want you to know we know the truth. Yes, we do. Our lives would be nothing without you. Yeah. Did you ever know you were our hero? And everything we like to be.
everybody. And am I on? Yes. Welcome. Can you hear me? Yes. I said, Daniel, you got an extra pair of wings because I want to welcome them. And y'all all just imagine we are flying under the wings of Dr. Maxine Mimms. All right? All right. Anyhow, for those of you who do not know me, I am Twanda Hill. And Maxine, people said, oh, she was like a mother figure to you. No, she was my girlfriend. We were girlfriends. We did more than probably what I did with my mama. But Elliot Jones and I, we are here to welcome you. Introduce yourself.
Happy Saturday, family. Oh, we could do better than that. Happy Saturday, family. Give it up for the band one time, y'all, please. I don't often get a soundtrack when I get a microphone, so this is nice. My name is Elliot Jones. I am honored to be here today. I am the grandson of Dr. Maya Angelou, a close, yes, thank you. A dear sister friend of Dr. Maxine Mimms. And before we get into this, I just want to share a little bit. I know we're all going to share about the good doctor today, but she really meant so much to me personally. As you all can imagine in that household, it's often easy to be overlooked as a young adolescent. Boy, of course, too. But Dr. Mimms always made space and place for you to be seen. She would be talking with my grandmother at the table. I'd walk in and she would change the conversation to me. You are on the spot. What are you doing? What's going on? But that was her. And what I really appreciated about Dr. Mimms is that she really gave me an opportunity to look into the world in which her and my grandmother were peers, in which they occupied, in which they came up. She would give me this window into that world, and then she would tell these stories. And I know you have all heard some Dr. Mimms tales. But they weren't stories of some great accomplishment or some great feat. It was stories of existence. It's stories of growth. It's a story of being. And when you think about the time of which they came up, that was hard. They made space. They created. They were uncompromising. And having this window into what it was like between Maxine and Maya and Odetta is something that I will truly cherish. And I'm gonna tell one story she told me I thought was funny. She was somewhere with Odetta, and we got her favorite Johnny Blue over here, y'all. I'll say to that. And she was somewhere with Odetta, and she said, we want 2 shots of Johnny Blue. And the waiter, some white guy, said, ma'am, well, that is a very expensive shot. She said, I don't care, 2 shots. 2 more. 2 more. So he comes over with the bill. Odette, I'm gonna need some help with this one. And this is funny because that's who she was. You weren't gonna tell Dr. Mimms no. The window into that world, into those women being women. While the window's closed, we won't get the breeze anymore. But we can look through. We can see the seed she's planted under an evergreen. Let me rephrase it, under the evergreen. It took me a minute to see there's Evergreen here, but this is the Evergreen State College. And while I'm from Oakland, California, this is my PNW home. I will be reading my obligatory poem, but I want us to understand that we have benefited so much from the wings, from the love, from the conversation, from her uncompromising faith that she was going to do for her people and do for us and allow us to be better. It almost didn't make it here for me this week, but the signs were there. I got upgraded to first class, couldn't say no. I was sick Monday through Thursday, and magically I'm healthy on Friday. I woke up this morning 10 minutes before my alarm. No traffic on the Bay Bridge. I'm like, doctor, you just had to tell me you needed me here? But family, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. We are losing our icons and our legends every day. So find those people, hold on to those stories, continue the living, active legacy, because we all have so much to do. And if the band will bring it down a little bit, I'd love to read a poem that I think will encompass us today, and it's not going to bring us down. It's going to lift us up and remind us. So without further ado, when great, and I'm not going to be as good as my sister over there who killed it. I mean, y'all ain't going to get that. I don't got that. I don't got that. Slip a disc over here. When Great Trees Fall, by Maya Angelou. When great trees fall, rocks on distant hills shudder. Lions hunker down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. When great trees fall in forest, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded beyond fear. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare, sterile. We breathe briefly. Our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory, suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws on kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Great souls die and our reality, bound to them, takes leave of us. Our souls, dependent upon their nurture, now shrink, wizened. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark, cold caves. And when great souls die after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces fill with a kind of soothing, electric vibration, our senses restored, never to be the same again. They whisper to us, they existed, and we can be and be better, for they existed. Thank you, Dr. Mimms.
All righty, thank you, Elliot. I would like to acknowledge that we did get proclamations today for Dr. Mimms. We did get one from the city of Tacoma, from Mayor Woodard, and it is on page 6 in the program book. And we also have a proclamation from Kanara Park Kids from the Kwanzaa Awards Committee. And so Noni is in the room. I want to acknowledge that. She's on page 7. I would also, thank you, yes, clap, clap, clap. I would like to welcome the mayor of Seattle, our dear friend Bruce Harrell. He'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, Twanda. I got a full disclosure here. Twanda said, don't go up there and start reading some boring proclamation, so she's still been riffing a little bit. Hey, Paul, when Elliot was speaking, beautiful speech, Elliot, I was like rocking to it, man. Slow my stuff down, brother. I grew up in the Teddy Pendergrass era and the Earth, Wind, and Fire era, so keep mine slow. There you go. Dr. Mimms wouldn't have it any other way. So many of you've come from afar, so some of you don't know me. So I'm Mayor Bruce Harrell from the city of Seattle. And the sister that did the Phenomenal Woman. When I come out here to Tacoma, I have to say that I had to find my phenomenal woman out here in Tacoma, bring her back to Seattle. She was a little under the weather, so she couldn't make it. I'm actually coming back here to Tacoma tonight to watch Rainier Beach young men take the state championship. Y'all can root for us now because Lincoln and Bellarmine didn't make it, so come on into the Rainier Beach house and root for us. Of all the places we could be right now in our lives, and me as the mayor of the city of Seattle, the most important place we could be in our lives is celebrating Dr. Mimms' life. That's why I'm here, and that's why you are here. The intersectionality between the African culture and Black America is a beautiful thing. I was talking to my sister, Afua. She was just there a week ago. I've been to Africa several times. I started that back in the 1980s. Now, I spent a lot of time there explaining to folks I'm not Hawaiian, by the way, that I do have roots that go back to Africa. Twanny, you didn't say they're gonna laugh at me when I said that. By the way, look up Wikipedia. I'm the second Black mayor in the city of Seattle ever. Don't let this face fool you. Taking it back to Dr. Mimms. Hey, Paul, you're going to have to lower just a little bit, brother. I feel like I got it. Dr. Mimms. So, someone sent me a picture the last time I was with Dr. Mimms. We had a fruitful conversation at Don Mason's home. And she would have us all concentrate on that date and not that date, because look at what she came through, right? This date, we are going through so much where they are trying to erase us from history, where they are attacking everything that we stand for. But here in the Northwest, here in T-Town, here in Seattle, here in this state, oh, we're going to be louder. We're going to do it for Dr. Mimms. And I'm unashamed when I say this. I'm unashamed when I say this. That what this president has given us is the greatest opportunity in our lives to shout out everything that we stand for. He done woke us up. So when we praise Dr. Mimms for everything that she stood for, the sacrifices she made, the pain that she went through, the impediments that she had overcome, the faith that she had, the love that she brought, that is still here in this room. Now, I'm old, but I got elders too. And when I look at the elders here, the love here, no, you don't get 80 years old and you're a fool all your life. You learned a few things. And when I see the younger generation here, it is that sort of, again, that continuum of hope. And that is why I'm here, and that is why I celebrate Dr. Mimms. You have her biography, but I did want to say that although she considered Tacoma home, make no mistake about it, she was impactful in Seattle. Okay. She understood the power of education. The first whereas states out the city of Seattle celebrates Maxine Mimms, an esteemed educator, visionary leader, and tireless advocate for accessible education. So I'll put that Barry White on there when I do that part. Accessible education. She came to Seattle in 1953. So I was born in 1958. I'm not ashamed of that. And when my black family came here from New Orleans, Louisiana, many of you knew my mother and father that are in this room. That's how we were all together back then. And it was centered around education. And my grandfather was not an educated man formally. He was one of the smartest men I ever met. So education comes in several forms, and Dr. Mimms knew that. She knew that some people are creatives. You saw beautiful creatives here, and Josephine and her daughter saying that. You see beautiful creatives right behind me. Dr. Mimms understood the beauty of tapping into God's gift in every person. That's why her work in education was so profound and so different Because a lot of people think you have to be a code developer at software to be successful. That is not what education is about. Dr. Mimms began her journey in Seattle in 1953. Her work extended far beyond the classroom. She became a national consultant on curriculum development and advocate for social change, the founder of the Maxine Mimms Academy, which serves youth in Tacoma's Hilltop neighborhood. Whereas Dr. Mimms' legacy exemplifies the one Seattle vision that I've claimed. Because in a one Seattle vision, we get past hair color, skin color, religion, socioeconomics. What we look at is what's right here in the heart. And a lot of the guys that, I played football at the University of Washington. I was a linebacker. I found a lot of cats that tough to talk tough. Some of the weakest cats in the room. I'll just be honest with you. I noticed some of the visionary leaderships like Dr. Mimms sometimes have the softest voices. And that's what we talk about in One Seattle, is tapping into the gifts of everybody. I close by saying this. The city of Seattle honors Dr. Maxine Mimms, an educational pioneer, a community leader, a beloved mentor whose impact will continue to shape and inspire our city for generations to come. The last sentence I'm going to put in my Barry White voice. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Harrell, Mayor of the City of Seattle. Oh, yeah. I hereby proclaim March 8th, baby. March 8th, baby. 2025 to be Dr. Maxine Mimms Day. We love you. Give it up for the mayor, y'all. Give it up. Clap it up one more time, y'all. So as we get settled, we're going to be moving this show along. Up next, we'd like to welcome Don Mason, a professor, a mentor, and friend, to deliver a few remarks. Please clap it up. I have a microphone for you right here.
Thank you, darling. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Is this wonderful or what? One thing we know is that to make Dr. Mimms' mission in life complete is this. All she wanted, and mostly what she wanted, is for us to love each other and always be together and share our gifts. She taught that we are all born with a gift. We're all born with challenges. And if we magnify our gifts, then we diminish the challenges. So look to the gifts. Sometimes it's creative. Sometimes it's just a quietness. That might be the gift that you bring, that you're the quiet one. Then some people are always out in front. But anyway, I wrote here something for us. Dr. Mimms, and it's about my professor, our professor, my mentor, our mentor, my friend, our friend. I shared a lot with Dr. Mimms, and she shared a lot with me. I actually lived with her. Imagine the gift of being able to live in her home with her for 4 years. When I was in the legislature, she brought me to her because I was the lonely only. I was the only African-American woman in the House, and Senator Rosa Franklin was the only in the Senate. She took care, Senator Franklin took care of me on the campus and then would send me home to Dr. Mimms in the evening to take care of me. It was a major majority, Republican majority. There was only 36 Democrats in the House and 62 Republicans. And I had to get through that. But she showed me my gifts, which diminished that challenge, and it was a great success for me, so thank you. So Dr. Mimms is clearly in this. Dr. Mimms is clearly in this room. We're in the collective essence of a being who is a person in our lives. Each of us have personal memories. I have many of my own, as I said, but I decided to say to you today what most of you can resonate as your relationships with her. All of you have a memory, and all of them authenticate her life. So think of them. And we know that then she appears. It is an honor and privilege today to have been chosen to help bring together with Twanda and Josephine the celebration of life of an extraordinary individual, Dr. Maxine Mimms. As I reflect on her remarkable legacy, I am reminded of the profound impact she had on my life and the lives of so many others. Dr. Mimms was not only my professor, but she was also my mentor and cherished friend. I hope that as I read this tribute, you feel you could have written this, because she was likewise a mentor, a friend, and a professor to each of us. But also, she was a mother to Ted, and a grandmother to Elise and Chantel, a mother-in-law, and they're here among us. And we must remember that they shared her with us. Thank you, Pam, for guiding that. In the classroom, Dr. Mimms was a beacon of knowledge and inspiration. She had an unparalleled ability to make even the most complex subjects accessible and engaging. Her passion for education was contagious, and she instilled in her students a love of learning that went beyond the textbooks. Dr. Mimms challenged us to think, to question assumptions, and to strive for excellence. And in all that we do. Her dedication to our intellectual growth was one unwavering, and her lessons will forever resonate in our hearts and minds. She's a mentor. Beyond the classroom, Dr. Mimms became a guiding light and in my personal and professional journey. As a mentor, she offered wisdom and encouragement and support at every turn. She saw potential that I did not yet see in myself, and she nurtured that potential with patience and care. Dr. Mimms taught me the importance of resilience, integrity, and courage to pursue dreams. Her guidance was not just about academic or career success, but about becoming a better, more compassionate, and thoughtful person. Now, see, each of you could have written that, couldn't you? It wasn't just me. She taught, in fact, she handpicked my professors. So Dr. Joy is here, Dr. Betsy is here. Dr. Betsy oversaw my writing. So I always show off when she's in the room. In fact, they sent me on to Antioch to become a writing professor. And when I would not be able to explain something or was mumbling or jumbling, Maxine would say, get off the phone and go write it. And then I would write it, and then I would mail her what I wrote. So I would never stop being a student to her. So she was also my friend, and that was the most important. Dr. Mimms became a true friend. She shared in my triumphs and stood by me in my struggles. Her kindness, generosity, and warmth knew no bounds. We laughed together, shared stories, and created memories that I will cherish forever. My life was forever changed because she lived among us. Now it is changed because of her transition. Dr. Mimms had a unique ability to make everyone around her feel valued and loved, and her friendship was a precious gift that we hold dear. She would call me every day just to see how I was doing. And she really wanted to know. If she felt had not fully disclosed something, she'd say, write it. Today, as we gather to celebrate Dr. Maxine Mimms, we honor her legacy as a brilliant professor, a devoted mentor, and beloved friend. While her physical presence is no longer with us, her spirit lives in the hearts of all who were fortunate enough to know her. Let us carry forward her legacy by embodying the values she held dear and by continuing to inspire and support one another, just as she did. So thank you, Dr. Mimms, for enriching our lives in immeasurable ways. You will be deeply missed. We will all miss her. But she's here. She's in this room. We can feel her. And remember, as she taught us, we must love each other and be kind. Come together. We must continue to celebrate. We were in this room for her 80th birthday. We were in this room for her 90th birthday. And now we're in this room for her eternity. This is so special. And to have Maya Angelou's grandson here at those occasions, and this one shows a testament to friendship. We're taught that a longtime friend is someone who witnessed your life. They authenticate you. You can't lie to a friend. They'll say, yes, that's right, no, that's right. So reach out to your friends. Reach out to those who have brought you along and come along. Mayor Harold, you speak often about your friends. There's that picture of you as a young kid in the baseball team. And now what he's bringing to our children, they say all my conversations kind of go to this way. He's building a ranch, a Buffalo Soldiers ranch for our children. And that is so wonderful, a wonderful gift. It's unique. What city builds a ranch for their children? It'll be in Auburn and then shares it with this whole region. King County, Pierce County, Tacoma, Seattle. We have been scattered. And so wherever our children are, they can come to the Red Barn Ranch, which was a gift to Seattle, the land, by Elgin Baylor. So it's about African Americans giving and wanting for our children. And we thank Mayor Harrell for making sure the funds are there to make sure that our children and the Buffalo Soldiers, which are so historic to us, are honored with a place. They should not have to go from place to place with their horses and themselves. So we thank that. And Maxine knew about it. She put her hand on that, and she said, Dawn, go do it. So go do it. So thank you very much. It's an honor to be here with you and to be able to speak.
All right, so we have a couple changes in the program. As you can tell, there are some empty seats. You know, Seattle is a very interesting town. We have weather. You would think it never rained in Seattle, but let the rain come out and the people stay home because we are streamed online. We've had illnesses, people fighting illnesses. So I would like to introduce Ibrahim. Benjamin Hunter, the violin player, could not be here today. All it took was one call. Everybody, this is how well everyone loves Max. One call, and he's there. So he has a song, Beloved, for the group. Thank you. And after he finishes, it's going to go into some videos, and I'm going to try and speed us along. So, because are y'all getting hungry? Okay, well, stop talking so long. Look, y'all want to eat? Y'all got to stop talking.
A special moment happened that I was reminded of with all of the proceedings going on today. When Maya Angelou had her DNA done by Skip Gates, and he informed her that she was Mende, she already knew. And she spoke of a time where she was at an event and Mandingo women were doing a traditional dance, and she was compelled by the drums to go out and dance with them, and they bowed and said, "The Mende spirit has returned to us." Ancestry is powerful. Ancestry echoes through time. And so it was when we found ourselves being taken away, whole towns and villages at a time. The princes fighting amongst themselves. Confusion had gripped the land. Mandan, which had been blessed with prosperity and peace for over 1,000 years, was now falling apart. And her people being carried off into the sea of darkness. The scholars, the Jelilu, came together with a plan. Many of them made of themselves living libraries containing all the knowledge of the culture and the history, and then volunteered themselves into slavery, coming over to keep the connection alive. Women even went so far as to braid seeds in their hair so that they would have the herbs and the foods necessary for their survival when they got here. And we never lost track of the message, held true to the mission. And through that ancestry, through that legacy, centuries passed on, and we never forgot the traditions that we came from. You see, this here kora I'm playing, the body of it is made from a calabash. The calabash represents metaphysically women. It is the holder of seeds and water. It is their implement that they use as they sift grain. It is was the sacred instrument of the women's secret societies. Back when women controlled the marketplace, back when the Musukontiki, the head woman, was consulted in all disputes. Men seeking out women for mediation, even in the Kurukan Fuga, outlined a position exclusively for women to mediate the disputes between the Mansa and foreign kings. And that legacy was not forgotten. Because y'all know what it was like growing up in a black neighborhood. You always had a big mama. That was our Musukontiki. My grandmother was a big mama. You go to her house and you get your hair braided. You get some piercings done. You might get some food cooked. And you get some legal aid advice. And if things got real bad, and things got real bad for women back then, you might go to her and seek refuge from your abusive husband. My mother told me stories of how she would come home and her pants and clothes would be missing because they gave it away to some girl who was the daughter of a woman who was being abused. Dr. Mimms is like that. It was my pleasure to play for her only a few short years ago and for the first time. And immediately afterwards, I could see the power in her eyes and in her presence. And I knew I was standing before a Musukontiki, so I bowed my head, pressed my forehead to her palm, and greeted her appropriately. And she asked me, "What you plan on doing?" And then immediately after telling her, she started introducing me to people, and Seattle embraced me. So it is my honor to play for her. The passing of a Musukontiki is always one to be celebrated and mourned. But just as our ancestors, we should always bring forth beauty from ugliness, life from death, and make a way out of no way. This is for the beloved. Thank you.
Dr. Maxine Mimms, educator, founder, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, wife, initiator, innovator, encourager of too many to name, prophet, womanist, believer, theologian, mentor, curator, collaborator, comedian, and business incubator on the fly. Dr. Maxine Mimms, the one who called you out of the wilderness so that you might know your profound and abiding brilliance. The holder of her own PhD that was always a PhD. The phenomenal woman of which Dr. Angelo spoke. We celebrate Dr. Mimms today with every fiber of our being, because it is the right and fitting thing to do. She was a woman with a life force so powerful and committed that she left us not in a whisper, but in a dignified, exquisite flame of glory, sharing one sound as she crossed over into the other room of life that seemed to let us know that whatever she witnessed was a thing of pure delight. To long-time friends, collaborators, to her children, to the Evergreen family, I thank God that you shared her with us all. And as I think about Dr. Mimms, I realized that she was a bit like the Nile River. No matter how long you step into that river, if it's for a moment or for a lifetime, you find yourself just mighty glad that you got wet. How we will forever miss her style, her hats, her jewelry, her rings, her laugh, her shocking digs that seemed meant to pick you apart, and her gentle effort to put you back together again. Friends, breathe in this grief so deeply and breathe out all the gratitude we all feel and the love Dr. Mimms left with you and me. Say goodbye for a little while if you must, but believe and know that she is free. She's returned to the universe, returned to becoming stardust again. Dr. Mimms is our moving and swirling, fierce and tender, black, brilliant, beautiful universe where love bursts forth to reach every part of us. And a love like that just cannot die. To everyone under the sound of my voice, I hope you know that she gave you all the tools that you need and that you are more than enough. Always remember how much she loved you and that in her presence, you were always, always worthy. May her memory forever be a blessing. Ashe.
Dr. Mimms is a sister friend of mine. She had been a professor at the university, and she realized that there was an Evergreen Olympia, but there was not a place for poor black men and women over 18, and poor Native American, and poor white, and poor Latino men and women to visit, to go to school. She began to harass the state. This black woman began Evergreen in her kitchen. And when there so many people came, blacks and whites, Spanish-speaking and Native American, she broke the wall between the kitchen and the dining room. I know that Maxine Mimms is a rainbow in the clouds. And because I know that Evergreen is one. When it looked like the sun wasn't gonna shine anymore, you became my rainbow in the clouds. Thank you. Oh!
But at this time, I would love to bring up the director of the Dr. Maya Angelou Foundation, a native of the SeaTac area, and mentee of Dr. Mimms, Miss Thamaya Tut.
Thank you, Elliot. Good afternoon, everyone. I always love to start with gratitude. So to the family of Dr. Mimms, thank you for sharing her with us. Thank you for sharing her with us. Thank you for opening up your homes and your hearts and sharing her with us. As a Seattle native born and raised, and currently serving as the president and CEO of the Dr. Maya Angelou Foundation, I am so honored to have experienced the privilege of getting to know the incomparable Dr. Maxine Mimms. Dr. Mimms wasn't just my mentor, she was one of my earth angels. One of the things I always found so endearing about her was her awe of newer technology. A lot of the things that I took for granted, cell phones, digital media, even commercials, her fascination, her never-ending wonder about the world around her, always thinking, always processing, always strategizing, and always learning will always inspire me. She had seen a lot of positive momentum in her lifetime, but she knew that her work was not going to be done. So she focused on pouring her wisdom, her guidance, her care, and her love into the younger and the next generation. Dr. Mimms poured into me, both teaching and reminding me how to stay courageous and curious. I would sit at her feet for hours and listen to her philosophy on education, on serving all learners in all communities, and giving all students access to educational opportunities that suit their needs. Quite frankly, Dr. Mimms gave me the game. And as a woman who is in places and spaces where I am the only one, she would ask me to share my goals. I would share my goals, and she would up the ante. She would amplify that. So anything that I said, she at least quadrupled it. However, we would work together, we would put a plan together, and several weeks down the line, I would give her a call, I would give her my updates, or several months, I would give her my updates, and that was what it was. And she also encouraged me to not run away from the brilliance and the greatness inside of me. She always encouraged me to lean in and to never play small. And that's just something that I will always cherish. And last but not least, she made it very, very plain to me that self-care is an act of resilience and revolution. Oftentimes, she would ask me, "Miss Tut, how are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing fine." And then I would regale her in a list of all the things that I was doing for others. And she would say, no, how are you doing? And so her and I would sit there and work on a curated self-care curriculum. And trust and believe, that is needed more now than ever. Dr. Mimms' life and legacy continues to impact my life on a daily basis. She personified the significance of lifting as we climb, ensuring that future generations have the resources, the supports, and opportunities to lead and live joyously. On this day of celebration, I am so proud to uplift the phenomenal Dr. Mimms. Together, may we continue the work of shattering barriers, amplifying voices, and creating positive and lasting change. We all had our respective assignments from Dr. Mimms. It's time to continue the work. We love you, Dr. Mimms. Thank you.
Okay. We had a few technical difficulties with her story, but you know what? I thought we don't need the actual video. As you can see, Kelly recorded hers. Indigo had one that didn't quite make it through. But she was going to tell Dr. Mimms' story in her words. Sit up, come get another mic. I'm going to go through the room real quick, and y'all got one word. We're going to tell her story, and you're going to give a word. Okay? And while we're doing that, too, is there a guest book in the house? Okay, it's going around. Okay, we have 2 of them, so if you didn't sign it, Celestine has one. She's walking in with it. Okay, so you got one word for me? Okay.
Love.
Wonderful.
Oh, amazingness.
Hope.
Everything.
Legacy.
Revolutionary.
Unapologetic.
Incredible.
Fearless.
Innovator.
Resilient.
Phenomenal.
Excellent.
Elegant.
Remarkable.
A lifter.
Brilliant.
Extraordinary.
Forever.
Inspiration.
Elegant again.
Inspirational too.
Bridge builder. Excellent. Indelible.
Indelible.
Gutsy.
Wisdom.
Okay, can y'all use your big girl and big boy voices?
Blueprint.
A comedian.
Mama Africa. Resilient.
Embraceable. Future.
Godly.
Bold. Godly.
Sankofa.
Worthy. Messiah.
Incisive.
A blessing.
My friend.
Beautiful.
Bearer of truth.
Beautiful.
Adorning.
Fulfilled.
Creative. Magnanimous.
Genius.
Unstoppable.
Exceptional.
Tenacious.
Black. Dedicated.
Visionary.
Committed.
Presence.
Exceptional and my family.
Inspiring.
Unapologetic.
Strong. Oh, beautiful.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Kind.
Kind.
Hilarious.
Stand up and tell.
Liberator.
So we can see this beautiful outfit. And our loser. Say it again.
Kind.
Luminary.
Kind.
Kind. Yes. Thank
Regal.
you.
Regal. Matriarch.
Awareness.
Determined.
Resplendent. Ancestor.
Relevant root.
Deservingly complicated.
Phenomenal.
Exceptional.
Uplifting.
Spirit. Love. Giver.
Classic.
Magnificent. Compassion.
Wise.
Strong.
Impactful.
Bold.
Inspiring.
Powerful.
Deep insight.
Pioneering.
Beautiful. Deep insight.
Deep
Masterpiece.
Curious.
Resilience.
Hysterical.
Direct.
Hysterical.
Grace. Undeniable.
Present.
A blessing.
Genius.
Powerful. Powerful.
Revolutionary.
Loving. A force of nature.
Kind.
Beautiful.
We got another kindness over here.
Loving.
Fashionable.
Brilliance.
Fighter.
A fighter.
Rock star.
Guidance.
Interdisciplinary.
Ebullience.
Unapologetic.
Eternal.
Essence. Hilarious. Driven.
Again, revolutionary.
Irreplaceable.
Powerful.
Irreplaceable. Unforgettable.
Amazing.
A presence.
Who did we miss?
Wonderful.
Obedient.
Metaphysical.
Peace.
Genius.
Blessed. Persuasive.
Love.
Authentic.
Enthusiastic.
Alaska.
Oh, let me get the bag.
I think, did we, don't let that mic go.
Sagacious.
Ooh. I said obedient.
I said peace.
Exceptional.
All righty.
Excellence.
Commanding.
Soulful.
Commanding and soulful.
Immeasurable.
So you guys, that is her story. Give yourself a round of applause. That is her story.
Now, Tawanda, before we move on, I have to say something real quick. If we look at the invite, it said wear a hat or wear some clothing that reminds you of Dr. Mimms. Y'all pulled this off. I'm walking around the room having to do double takes to make sure, wait, that looks like her. She is here. You all are embodying her. Y'all are doing this right. Clap it up for yourselves, please.
And I help you feel the spirit. This is a celebration. I know some of you may feel sad. And, you know, Elliot said, let him speak, because it's been a year. You got to get this off your chest. But this is a celebration. She does not want us to be mournful. She wants us to be joyful, joy-filled. And so, and don't worry, she left an assignment for y'all that I'm going to tell you about. Because if y'all know Max, this is what she wanted, like her 90th birthday. She told me everything that I needed to do. She didn't leave me a nickel to put in a dime. So thank you for all of you who supported us in the journey and the book, because she had faith. She knew she could give an instruction and an assignment and it would be done. And money is never the reason things cannot get done. So just know that. Okay, Miss Josephine, we're almost done. Come on and give us a blessing.
There was a time many years ago that the people that Yahweh blessed me to have around, the beautiful women, they surrounded me. They took me and my daughter down to the house. Dr. Mimms said, you need to lay by the tree. You need to shut up and be still. And all the mentors that were with me, Dr. Mimms was one of them. The sisters, they took me and took my youngest daughter and laid me down on the couch and left me there. And when I woke up, it was the next day, and I fell back to sleep because I was drowning on the inside. And they left, and then they came back. And then she said, how you feel? And I said, exhausted. She said, you still got some work to do. She took me to the back room, to the music room. She started playing the music for me. And I started singing. She said, shut up. I didn't ask you to sing. I said, listen. And I would try to listen, and then I would sing again. She said, do you know how to shut up? And I said, I don't. I said, because for so long I was told to shut up. Now she said, there comes a time where you just got to be quiet. So you're going to match your will with your faith. And this is the song she played for me. Great is thy faithfulness, O God our Father, for there is no shadow of turning in thee. Thou changest not, thy compassion, it fails not. As thou hast been, thy forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Summer and winter, springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars in their courses above, joining all nature in manifest glory to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy wonderful hands have already provided. So great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto thee. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. To God be the glory for the things He has done. Thank you, Max. Thank you.
At this time, we would like to bring up the family of Dr. Mimms to say a few words, Chantel and anyone else who wants to come up. Ashe. And if you all want to come up here and stand for support, that's also a beautiful thing, too. Clap it up for them, y'all.
Well, thank you all for being here. My name is Chantel, and some of you may know that she was so important to me, as she was to all of you, but imagine all of this as your grandmother, you know? So, we've all been just so blessed and spoiled to learn the lessons that she's provided for us. And I just want to thank you guys for always, always, always giving her her flowers, even when she was here. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
So it's an honor to be here today. It's not night yet, not nighttime yet. But my name is Clinton Buey. I am the great grandnephew of Aunt Maxine Mimms. I don't even call her great aunt. I call her Aunt Maxine. But I loved her so much. When I lived out here, when I was working in Seattle, she invited me over to her house, and I'm gonna tell you, I heard some of the wildest stories you would ever hear in your entire life. But they were always so good. You just wanted to sit down and just listen to every single thing she had to say. And she was so funny. Oh my God. Like, she would just be dropping massive knowledge with you. And then just, the punchline would just hit you like, Goldilocks did what? I'd be like, what? Where did that come from? It was funny though. So I was here for it. But no, I just want to say, I'll keep it very brief because I'm holding everybody up from the food. You ain't allowed to do that. You ain't allowed to do that. But I just want to say thank you all so much for coming out. Aunt Maxine loved the community. She loved me, and she loved y'all. She loved everybody just the same. She really had no favorites. I know somebody wants to claim, oh, I'm Maxine's favorite. No, she had no favorites, but she had no favorites. She just loved everybody. So, God bless everybody in here. Aunt Maxine, if you can hear me, just want to say thank you so much. I miss you dearly, but you still got me rolling. That's all I've got to say. You still got me rolling.
I just want to clarify, I am the favorite. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Can we get the family back up here for a quick picture? Quick picture with the family. Yeah, of course. I know one person wanted to speak, but she walked off stage too quickly, and she's trying to walk away now. So while we wait for the niece.
I can just quickly say, like everyone in this room, Dr. Maxine was a huge mentor for me. She spoke life into me. She saw my creative passion, and I'm just so grateful that I was able to co-create something with her. She wrote the foreword for my book, and she just really uplifted me and made me believe in myself, which is something that I think we all share. And I just cherish her, and I'm grateful that we're living in her legacy and we are embodying who she was, and we're gonna continue to do that and manifest all of the things that she saw in each and every one of us. So thank you.
Tried to walk away. Clap it up, y'all.
Thank you. So we got a final assignment, and then we got have Adefua take us out, and then we're going to close up the circle. So if you notice, there's a final assignment that Dr. Mimms always gives everyone. And so she and I, we spoke all the time, but she poured into all of us. And so because she is gone, we do not get to just stop. So we have an assignment to continue to pay it forward. So she has a dear friend, Ophelia Taylor Walker. Yes. And Ophelia was in Phoenix a month ago, and she thought she came to get some sun. I live in Phoenix. And she realized that, no, she came to give me my assignment from Dr. Mimms. And she wanted us to record Dr. Mimms' history. And so we're going to do an oral history. Where's Vanya? Vanya was supposed to be up here with me, just so you know who she is. Vanya is my partner in success. She also was dancing earlier. And let me tell you, if I could kick my legs at 50, look, I would be out here dancing all the time. I want y'all to know her face, know her name, Vanya C. Bynum, because the two of us, we're going to do some recordings on a podcast. It's going to be called Good Works. And we're going to capture Dr. Mimms. So if you go to the website, drmimmspresents.com, you can actually say, hey, I want to record my story, and we will follow up and get you set up for an interview time. And I am encouraging, we're taking our elders who are 80 and over first. I want to make sure we get these stories recorded in time. So I don't think that we're the ones to put the whole book together, but I can take my part of the assignment. Yes. And what we're going to do is a year from now, we're going to all be on a big old Zoom meeting, and y'all going to check in and get graded on your assignment and what you have done. So when y'all get the emails from me and from Vanya, know what they're about. It's report card time. So a year from now. So when we get to eating, talk about what does your assignment look like for you. So anyhow, did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say that I didn't know Dr. Mimms for a long, long time, but in that short time, it was just very inspirational to meet her through Twanda and to feel her encouragement through me performing and bringing in performers through Let the Strings Speak. And her spirit, I felt her spirit with me this morning. And as she had a vision for education, I have one in the arts. And I want to just follow in her footsteps because she will be inspiring me to keep working. And Twanda will not retire because she'll be helping me.
The subtleness. I keep telling them I'm trying to get to retirement. If you tell people enough times, they'll believe you. I have 8 years, and I know y'all think, oh, that's a long time, but it's going to go by quick, and I don't want nobody calling me at 8.5 talking about, I need help. 8 years. So with that, let's go to, we all have the assignment. Adefu is up next, but we got a cute little clip of Dr. Mimms.
Hello? It's all divine culture. Giving thanks to the Most High to make it possible for us to all be here together. For over 40 years, Adefua has been doing this work. For over 40 years, we celebrate that this year. Just like Kendrick Lamar said, it's not just about the music, right? We're called. Every second we're called and we're sent. Please be aware. So the work of our elders are very critical in the cultural work that we do. Dr. Maxine Mimms is truly responsible for Adefua being placed on the map. When we first created Adefua in the late 1984, right here in this room, Dr. Mimms said, anytime someone calls me to speak, they're gonna bring Adefua to bring me out. Anybody remember that? That was 40 years ago. Whenever Dr. Mimms was making a presentation, she made sure Adefua was bringing her out in her royalty, and we did that. We knew the assignment. Celebrating the life of the legendary Dr. Empress, Queen, Mother Maxine Mimms. She will always shine the light. She will always shine the light. I recognize it's important for us right now to lay her to rest. You know, when we have our new ancestors that have lived a good life, they've died and passed on. You know, sometimes we cry, we don't know how to release them properly. So this is the time for us to do that in celebration, in honor, in legacy, in love, in brilliance. The key to Dr. Mimms was what? Education, right? And we know that the first education exists in the home. Give thanks. So I just have some little notes here. It's not a failure. Death is not a failure. Think big. Those are the things she would always say to me. Dr. Mimms, you know, we went through this time period. So it was like 1984, the beginning. Then we would have the sister circles at the cottage, right? Oh my gosh. And we would come and we would do everything. People would call upon us and we were there. It was never a time when we were asked to be present in community and we never showed up. Dr. Mimms would say, be careful with your words. The moments that stand out to me is 1984. 30 years later, when I was graduating from Antioch University, Dr. Mimms became my mentor. She sat me down, we took a whole weekend. We went out to the cottage, and she helped me identify along with Dr. Arunga. You in the room, Dr. Arunga? We sat down for the weekend and identified the 5 phases of my life. Give thanks. Ashe. 10 years later, last year, one of the most profound things she said to me when I gave her my life updates, she said, girl, you know how to take care of yourself. So in the spirit of healing and passing it on, allowing yourself to breathe in and celebrate. Can we do that? I just heard a few people over here. But like, this really is not a performance. This is a way for you to understand that this is how we deal with life and death and eternal life. Upon us today with Adefua, we do have our most dedicated artists within our company. And as I mentioned to you, we're celebrating 40 years. These artists are with me thick and thin. And one of the ones who I want to highlight first of all is Boca Kuyate. He's a jelly. He's a traditional griot. It's his job to do the work that Adefua has been doing for 40 years. And he's standing tall with us for these past 11 years or so. Brother Felucio. This brother was born into this culture through the spirit and the work and the sacrifices of his mom. His mother did the work that I'm doing. Nabi, he's also a griot. So we're not just coming in community just to play music. It's really about culture. It's about how we move forward, how we sustain, how we preserve. We're building an African Cultural Arts Center that will open the doors spring of 2027. Dr. Mimms said, do it. When I sat down with Dr. Mimms to talk about the Cultural Center, she said, stop saying you don't have a space. Because you've been doing programs in your home for over 30-something years. Stop saying that. I don't want to hear that no more. You know? So, as most of you know, the Adefua Center, when we demolish that building, yes, that's right, we're demolishing the whole Adefua Center building. From the roots, we're going to build up 4 floors. I talked to Dr. Mimms, I talked to Dr. Hardiman, and I got their advice. And I said, what should I consider about these? And Dr. Hardiman said, you're a living archive. You remember that, Dr. Hardiman? All right now, giving thanks. We are going to celebrate, as Seattle's Mayor Bruce Harrell said, yes, this time last week I was in Africa. I was there for 4 months. Just returned back, and I just want to give a little spirit, and I want you to give a little spirit about how we heal together for times like this. In honor of our African nations, our global brothers and sisters, our ancestors, our elders, our children, let's do this. Lamba is known as the healing. And we're not talking about like illness healing. It's about how we come together and how we stay and preserve culture. Knowing your history, the healing goes a lot deeper, and we can talk more about that. Ashe.
Before we dance Lamba, I want to sing this song. This song is talking about life. In this song, we're telling how beautiful life is. We need to celebrate the life. Atunya amodolekela kawaii. Alini kera saramaledi, itelelekela dunya kono. Alini kera mobaledi, itelelekela dunya kono. Moye wala mobale baby, moye dolekela kawaii. Atunya amodolekela kawaii. Alini kela saramaledi, itelelekela dunya kono. Alini kela mogobaledi, itelelekela dunya kono. Lambe malaka ni manyiwo, moye dolekela kawaii. Atunya amodolekela kawaii. Atunya modolekela kawaii. Jatunya itelelekela kawaii. Atunya amodolekela kawaii. Alini kela saramaledi, itelelekela dunya kono. Antunyao modole kela kawaii. Modole kela kawaii.
All right, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Afua. It's lovely to see the community being a part of that. I see you guys dancing out there. And so, Sister Makata, can you come up, please, to close us out? Yes, yes. The community. And thank you, everyone, for coming. Dr. Mimms is rejoicing amongst the angels. Yes, sister.
God bless you. God bless you. And you can see I changed clothes. I didn't even imagine that this was going to be such a wonderful, wonderful field up in the neck area. I can't hardly breathe. Everybody has given a lot of beautiful energy, and now it is our time for us to come together as Dr. Mimms wants us to, in the oneness, in breath, and in love. And the way that we do that, we make a circle. We make a circle. And that's how our energies will connect as one. Synergistically, we become all of what is, and that's necessary now. It's necessary now. We come into our power, fully into our power. All right, can I have everyone to stand up, please? Every able body. Everything that was presented here was so beautiful, and you all made it so. I want you to know that. Can everybody go on the outer edges, please? On the outer edges, so that we can get that circle going. Okay, this is the time that we really, really, truly make this beautiful circle for Dr. Mimms. Right hand is over, left hand is under. You receive from the left and you give from the right. Ashe? And we are patient, waiting for this circle to be exactly that, a circle. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah, there you go. There it is. Are we all touching yet? Oh, we waiting on the wonderful Delbert. He's coming. Asheo. Ashe, thank you. Thank you for your voice. Thank you. Once again? Oh, the musicians. Oh, they come on in here. You come on, musicians. You beautiful, beautiful black kings. Come on up in here. We need that juice. Thank you for your voice. We can make it happen. Let's squeeze in a little bit. You know how sardines do it? Let's get a little closer. It's okay. Nobody's going to bite you. Come on, get me. Girl, get me. All right. Now, is we all in? We all in? All right. Let's take 3 deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. And breathe out. Breathe in all that's good. And breathe out what we don't need. Breathe in all that's good. And breathe out what we don't need. And anyone have anything on their heart that they would like to share with the circle? Everybody full? Like I'm full? Ashe. Ashe. So what we want to do is send the ancestors back. The ancestors are pleased. And we're going to say Ashe 3 times. And we're going to let it go into a beautiful melody on the end. All right, so 5, 6, 7, 8. Ashe! 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 And so it is. The ancestors, thank you. Ashe! Yay! Beautiful job. Thank you.
Manifested itself. I love black people. That I adore black people, and they're just all up in me. And I will do anything that I can with the skills that I have, that I've been gifted with, to make sure there is a relationship that allows us both to grow.